In my opinion, somebody really needs to teach women how to advertise themselves to men. A lot of women in their dating profiles and their whatever they put out on the internet will put a whole bunch of things in it that men could not care less about in picking a partner. The biggest thing they put in their profiles that's a turnoff to most men is their list of the things that they demand from a man. At the end of the day, after working at a normal job, most men do not want to go home and have another job at home for which they don't get paid and for which they never get complimented, but for which there are only write ups and demerits. Just saying. Number two, they will fill their profile with all sorts of things that they're interested in and then demand that a man fit into their frame. Well, that's great that you love guns, God, and dogs. It's great that you're into a particular kind of music, but that's not what really matters for the most part in relationships. Most lasting relationships are built on common ground, and I'm not talking about the common ground of that we like the same music, movies, and recreational activities. I mean that you share a perspective on the world, that you share similar principles and values and a vision of the future. Because without that, you're just roommates that sleep together or friends. But you're not really in a relationship, even if the government puts their imprimatur and sanctions it with a marriage license. It doesn't make you a couple that you couple. Number three, they'll put all sorts of things on there that are actually turnoffs for men. My kids come first. Well, there's no man worth having out there who's okay coming in behind another man's 12-year-old son, or four of his kids, or eight of his kids, or however many that you have. Number four, they will put stuff in there that eliminate men who might otherwise be for consideration. Some women will talk about you better be 6 foot, you better make six figures, you better not be a conservative or a liberal or whatever it is. At the end of the day, there are two things that actually matter in a relationship. Number one, that person needs to treat you well. That's why, like, number one, I don't want a laundry list when I get home. When I get home, my home is a retreat and a refuge. Right now, I live there with a dog, and he's sort of demanding because he's two. But he's also kind, sincere. He looks out for me. He plays with me. He loves me, and is comfortable with me. And like last night, we snuggled up on the poof and watched a movie. He doesn't care what the movie is. It was about Mary Queen of Scots, in case you care. But he was just content to cuddle up next to me while I petted him. That's fine. He didn't have a list of demands. He didn't go around wrecking stuff. And you don't pay attention to me. Your home has to be a place of peace, or no man is going to want to make a home with you. Um, a man is really looking for somebody who's going to treat him like he's worth keeping. Men picked you because they identified you as a keeper, not because they want to become what you consider a keeper. In my experience, far too many women demand to be accepted as they are and then demand that men become what they find acceptable. Hard pass. The other thing that matters is that you fit into his frame. And I don't mean that submit to everything and you're a bobblehead on your own, because no real man wants a bobblehead that top their head. But we do want somebody who will get on the same page with us and who will work with us on things that are important to us, especially if they're important to both of us. That's why the recreational activities doesn't matter. If I'm into golf and you don't like golf, you don't have to like golf or come with me for it to be a good thing. That's a recreational thing. It's not a thing that's a passionate life interest. And for people who it is a passionate life interest, well, they're going to have to find somebody who likes standing around on a golf course, which is not me. But there are bigger things like his family, like his household. If you're going to take care of that while he plays golf, that's great. This is why a lot of strong boss babe independent women will never find anyone, because they're looking only at people who outrank them, out-earn them, and are outshining them, who then treat them as equals. Well, a man who earns more than you and has achieved a rank higher than you did not get there by treating the people around him as if they were his peers, or they were his equals, or they were his superiors. He got there by establishing himself as a leader. So you want a leader who acts like you're the leader. Good luck with that. A man is the leader of a household. I know you don't like that, but somebody has to be responsible. Somebody has to be accountable. When I was married, I stood up to my wife on certain things because I knew that ultimately I was the one who was going to be held accountable for the decision that was made. And at least if I could say I disagreed with it, most men would be like, okay, and we're good. Because she would do stuff that I thought was a bad idea that I didn't support, and then it would crash and burn, and she'd look at me, and I didn't have to say anything because she knew I told you and it did not need to be spoken. The man bears the burden of that. I had to pay for lots of things, financially and in other ways, that she decided to do without my permission. So I'm accountable. It's not like I get out of it. Well, I didn't have any say in that. The man, I'm on the deed. I'm on the paperwork. The judge held me accountable for things I didn't agree to when we got divorced. The man is accountable. And so the man has to be the leader in his own home, or why in Hoboken would he invite you to join him in his? I have a house. I've lived in it for a long time. And I don't even let everybody in, even men. A guy from church came over the other day, and I opened the garage door and talked to him in the driveway because it's my refuge. I decide who comes in. And if you're going to come in and overthrow me, get your own house. So, I mean, it would be different if I was homeless, but most women don't pick those guys. They call them scrubs and stuff. The slander and the libel is without parallel. But at the end of the day, if you are wondering why you're not married, I recommend the 2011 article in the Huffington Post entitled Why You're Not Married by Tracy McMillan, because it's as true today as it was true when she wrote it. It was written by a woman to women, and it's advice that has been completely ignored by women because of, if you look at how women are picking them now, they're not picking men who are worth keeping, and they don't know how to be women that men want to keep. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to pay for it. You want me to pay? You want me to be traditional? I'm going to be the one who pays for it. So I'm going to pick a woman that I think is a good deal. And if you're not presenting yourself as a good deal to me for what I consider to be a good deal, I will walk right past you. I know most stores hate me. They'll put all that stuff in the checkout aisle that I don't think I've ever bought anything in the checkout aisle. Sometimes I look at it because I'm bored, or, oh, that's what they want for that. Interesting. Oh, Kinder Eier. Okay. Or Kinder, the candy egg things. Sorry, I said it in German. I'm interested, but I don't ever buy it because it's not marketed to me. It's marketed to people with no impulse control. None. I have problems with impulse control, but I have some. And so they don't like me because I won't buy it. And you have to offer me something in the checkout line that I would be interested in. Not even Home Depot does that because I have never bought anything in the checkout aisle as an impulse. I usually go there for specific items and leave. And if you're not offering me the things that I came for, I'm probably going to walk right by you, even if you're pretty. And that's the bottom line. Take it as you like. Don't like it if you don't want to. It's your call. And if you disagree with me, then thank God that the internet exists to make manifest my weaknesses so that you can learn to be wiser than I. Anyway, be wise. What can I say more? Godspeed. Take care.